Here we have the 2-hour price chart for Microsoft Corporation, stock ticker MSFT. As we can see here, the stock continues with its strong move higher. We do have a very stable uptrend that's been seen in the stock. Not totally surprising. I mean, throughout most of Microsoft's history, similar trends have developed over time. We do have periods of decline, though. It's not That's not to say that Microsoft is somehow immune from potential downside activity. But in general, if we're seeing strong movements in the broader market, Microsoft itself tends to remain supported, just given the fact that Microsoft is involved in so many other businesses. I mean, if we're seeing the market as a whole performing well, it stands to reason that large percentages of that market are going to be paying for Microsoft, operating systems and Azure Cloud and, all the various products that they offer. So, overall, when the market tends to perform well, Microsoft also tends to perform well. And that is the case in the current, the current environment here. We're returning from a holiday thinned trading session here, trading week, I should say. Last week, of course, was the 4th of July holiday. We saw lower trading volumes into the Thursday trading session, which was then closed. And this really did continue until today. Markets really just started to come back to full strength. So it's not entirely surprising to see some of these surges higher in many of these stocks. So currently what we're looking at here would be highs of 468.35. In the retracements from here, the downside corrective movements have been relatively minimal. We've really only seen near-term lows coming in at 464.47. So we're talking about a very small amount of money here, $4 total. In share price action. So we're talking about less than 1% of the share value actually seeing declines here. So, overall, though, we do need to try to get a game plan here in the event that markets start to become overextended. Maybe we start to see some declines in the S&P 500. There is a major, interest rate decision from the Federal Reserve that's coming up. So, these are the type of factors that can start to put pressure on Microsoft if we do see results that are not favorable. So what we're going to do here is just to do some quick Fibonacci analysis to try to figure out some levels to the downside that might be used to establish positions in the event that maybe the Federal Reserve doesn't signal that it's going to be cutting interest rates anytime soon. That's an event that would likely weigh on the market. And put some amount of pressure on this stock. So, if we're looking at the prior lows, which posted May 31st, we can see that Microsoft was trading at 404.51 during that trading period. And then this extends, of course, to the recent all-time highs, which posted at 468.35. So this is a very, very stable uptrend movement here, a very clear bull wave in price action. So it's relatively clearly defined and can, as a result, that it can now be used for Fibonacci analysis. If we're also looking at the moving averages for this chart, we can see that they're all moving up fairly uniformly in an upward trajectory. And this does suggest that we will start to see some support at each of these levels. The yellow is 20 period EMA, orange is 50 period, purple would be purple would be the 100 period exponential moving average, and the blue line would be the 200 period EMA. So as a result, we would expect to see some support in each of these levels, and as we can see, two of them really do match up fairly well with the Fibonacci price zones that would be calculated using this dominant price move. So, specifically, if we look at the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement of this move, we can see that prices are likely to start to encounter some type of support near 453.47. This would be the 23.6% Fib retracement, and it would also fairly well align with the 50-period exponential moving average on the 2-hour time frame. So we would expect to see some support here. If we did, in many cases, the 23.6% retracement is not the strongest of these price levels. So it does stand to reason that we could see a break lower from there. And then if this were to occur, this would be the stock would then fall to my preferred buy zone, which would come in at the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. Specifically, this level comes in at 444.25, so just below 445. And this does align very nicely with the 100 period exponential moving average. That would be the purple line here. So, this is a confluence of events here that does really fall in line fairly well with the price lows that were generated on July 1st. So we now have sort of a trifecta here. There are three different indicator readings that are all kind of pointing to the same area, possibly just below 450. And for those reasons, this really would be my preferred buy zone for anyone that's looking to kind of enter into long positions in Microsoft. If we did see a break below there, I would expect to see a bit more volatility in price action due to the fact that the following Fib retracement level comes in at the 50% retracement, and that's not really a Fibonacci level. It is included with most charting stations. But that's really just to give traders a rough idea when in situations where half of a dominant move is being retraced. But 50% itself is not a Fibonacci number. 23.6%, yes, Fibonacci number. 38.2%, yes, Fibonacci number. 61.8%, yes. 78.6%, yes. Those are all Fibonacci numbers. But the 50% retracement is not part of the Fibonacci sequence. So in most cases, I really won't ascribe too much importance to that level unless I'm seeing a couple of other factors point to the same area. And that's really not the case here. It's possible that we could be seeing, if the decline took some time, it's possible that this 200 period exponential moving average could rise in line with that area. It's possible that those two could meet in the future. But you can't really predict a moving average because it depends on where share prices ultimately travel. And if we were to start seeing price declines, this would also affect trend readings in the 200 period exponential moving average. So we do have a 50% retracement level here. I wouldn't really point to that as a very strong level of support in the same way that I would point to this 38.2% level. So in the event that we did see a decline below this 445 mark, I would expect to see a deeper retracement into roughly 430, because this would then mark the 61% retracement of this dominant price move. So overall, my favorite level here to watch does come in at 445. If you see an opportunity to buy in that area, I would definitely be bullish. So here's the current market outlook for Microsoft Corporation, stock ticker MSFT.